What's up, guys? Christian Van Buren here. I am the co-founder of Ripple Effect Fatherhood. Okay, so before I get going, let me just reiterate to everybody who keeps up with our channel, we are now streaming on all podcasting platforms. So if you listen to podcasts on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, all those podcasting platforms, you just get on there, you search Ripple Effect Fatherhood, and just feel free to click on one, listen. Definitely shout out these amazing fathers that we've had the privilege and honor of interviewing. And I know if you're anything like me, you would rather listen to a podcast than watch it on YouTube, especially because you can use your phone or tablet while you're listening. I'm glad we finally got that up and running. So for those of you that enjoy listening to podcasts and enjoy what we do here, feel free to go check us out on your favorite podcasting platform. Like I said, just search Ripple Effect Fatherhood and it should come up. If you've seen our logo, then it's the same one, right? Thanks for being here. I just want to put that out there. I enjoy this opportunity that we get to just spread positivity. And so I ask that you do the same. Any kind of content that you come across that you just think can bless somebody, please share it, right? Because that's all we're trying to do here is spread as much positivity as possible, especially in the fatherhood community. Okay, so for this week's solo segment, all right, we're going to be covering a topic that I think every father should have at least basic knowledge on, and something that I think every family, especially every father, should have in place and should be actively using. So let's get into it. We're going to be covering the 5 W's and the H, or the how, of life insurance, right? Now, before you click off, right? I know life insurance is not the sexiest topic. It's not the most fun topic to talk about or think about, because as humans, especially in our American society, death is not something that we like to have at the forefront of our mind. And I'm not saying that we should. However, let's not forget that we all do have an expiration date, right? So we're just going to cover life insurance, the 5 W's and the how, keep it real basic. Hopefully it plants a seed in your mind for those of you who don't have it, or for those of you that don't know if you have enough or how much you should have. We're gonna dive into that just a little bit, because I've had surprisingly a few different conversations recently with other men that I talk to regularly, and we've just been talking about life insurance, and I've had the opportunity to kind of give some additional information that they didn't have previously on how life insurance works and why it's important to have it, or even why, or even how much they should have. And if you're asking yourself why I'm having these conversations with people, if you don't know, I actually also hold a life insurance license, or in more detail, a general lines license. So I deal in life insurance, health insurance, and etc. So if you're watching this video and you want more information, or if you're listening and if you have more questions or you want more information, feel free to reach out to me. I'll make sure our contact information is in the description for this episode, right? So let's get into it. The 5 W's and the H. The first W is the what. So what is life insurance? We hear this term all the time, and surprisingly, a lot of people don't even know what it is. Plain and simple, life insurance, or a life insurance policy, is a contract between a life insurance company and a person or persons that says that this life insurance company will pay out this much when this person passes away. All right, simple as that. I mean, and it can be as simple as that, and then you can get more complex, but we're not going to get all into the crazy stuff. Just understand that it's a contract between two parties. One of the parties is a life insurance company. The other party is a person or persons. And basically, the life insurance company will pay out this much money if this person passes away. Now, that money will get paid to what's called a beneficiary. And so a beneficiary is basically the person that in the contract will receive the sum from the life insurance company upon the death of the insured. So the person whose life is insured. So That is the what, plain and simple. Now let's get into the second W, right, which is the who. Something that I really want to stress to my fathers, especially, but anybody who's considering life insurance or anybody who is responsible for someone else or has responsibilities that will still need to be taken care of after you pass away. The who in life insurance is not you, right? Now, let me dive into that just a little bit. When I say the who is not you, you are the insured. So if you're somebody who needs life insurance or is looking at getting life insurance, you're the insured, which means that when you pass away, a sum of money will be paid to your beneficiary. But you're not the who that I'm talking about in this situation. Okay, so really hear me on this part, please. Your life insurance policy is not for you. Your life insurance policy is for the ones that will continue living after you pass. Really understand that and really take that into consideration when you make the decision to get a life insurance policy, when you're deciding how much you should have, and when you're deciding to educate somebody else on whether they should have life insurance or not. Your life insurance policy is not about you. Your life insurance is not about you. It's about making sure that the ones that you love or the closest ones to you are taken care of financially after you pass away. Now let's talk about the when. The when that I'm referring to is when you should get life insurance for those of you who don't have it. ASAP, okay? ASAP. The when is important here because you can decide when you're going to get life insurance, but you can't decide when you are no longer going to be living. So if you have no idea what the when is, as far as how long you're going to be on this planet, but you have control over the when, as far as when your family will be protected upon your passing, then make the right choice on that when, okay? I just want to get this information out there because the content I think is important, all right? And then let's just kind of paint this picture. If you are a father and you have children and you pass away and you don't have life insurance, ask yourself, what does life look like for your family or for your kids after you are gone and you have no life insurance? There's your why right there. If you are a husband and maybe you don't have kids, ask yourself what life looks like for your spouse after you pass away. If you are a father and a husband and you don't have life insurance, ask yourself what life looks like for your family if you were to pass away tomorrow. Remember, control is very limited when it comes to when our time is coming, but you can control what life might look like financially for your family after you pass. So just kind of keep that in your mind. But let's talk about the how. And this is the part that I really want. I hope you guys stuck around for because I just want to kind of educate a little bit. I was on Forbes.com is where I got this information. But if we're talking about how should I go about getting life insurance, or how much life insurance should I have? All right, so how much life insurance should I have? One thing that I learned on Forbes.com and one thing that I use as a life insurance broker whenever I talk to families about life insurance is a method that is called the DIME method. So that's DIME. The D in the DIME method stands for debt and or final expenses. So if you're somebody that has credit card debt, personal loans, this part excludes your mortgage if you have a mortgage. But you want to calculate all your debt, and then you want to calculate your final expenses. So are you going to want a burial? Are you going to want to be cremated? Are you going to want to be planted as a tree? I don't know how that works, right? But your final expenses are anything that has to do with taking care of your body after you have passed. So you want to add up your debt, add up your final expenses, and then set that number to the side. Now let's transition over into the I. The I is income, right? So if you're a father, especially, even if you're not the breadwinner, if you are working and you are receiving an income, the support that your family receives from your income now, multiply that by how many years that your family would need to receive that support financially, and that is how much income coverage that you would want. Say you're making $40,000 a year, and if you were to pass away, you want your family to be able to still receive that $40,000 or still have access or support from $40,000 a year for the next 6 years. So you have 40,000 for the next 6 years. That's going to be $240,000. So at the very least, you want that $240,000 as income coverage. So take that number and set it to the side. All right, now let's get into the M, which is mortgage. All right, so if you're somebody who owns a home, you want to calculate how much your house is worth, how much you owe on your house, and then you take that number, take your mortgage, how much you owe on your house, and then set that number to the side. And then the E, check this out. The E in the dime method is for education. So if you are a father, especially, but anybody listening to this who has kids or who is responsible for somebody that plans on going to college, or if you have plans for your kids to go to college or get any kind of vocational training, whatever the case may be, how much is it going to cost for them to either go to college or to go to vocational school or to travel abroad and study abroad, whatever the case may be? How much money is that going to cost? And if you were to pass away, do you want them to have access to that money when you're no longer around? Okay, so for those of you who plan on sending your kids to college and don't already have something set up or have a set amount for them to go to college, you want to calculate however much that's going to cost. And then boom, take that number, put it to the side. So now you have your amount that you have for debt and your final expenses. And then you have your amount that you have for your income coverage times however many years you want your family to be supported by that income. And you have your M for your mortgage, how much you owe on your home. And then you have your E for education, for how much your child or children are going to have to pay for school or their studies after high school. Now you add all that up, that's a good number for you to base your life insurance coverage on. How much life insurance you want to have, how much life insurance you know that you want to have in place, so that if you were to pass away yesterday, those things are taken care of financially. The most important part of this that I want everybody to really understand is that no amount of money can replace a life. However, what I do make sure that I stress to every family that I sit down with is that upon your passing, you want to make sure that your family is able to grieve without having to deal with any kind of financial stress or financial burden. Can you solve all problems with life insurance financially? Absolutely not. But I think it makes a lot of things easier to handle when you have access to the funds that you need for the things that the family members that are still living will encounter as they go on with their lives. So the last W, I know you think I forgot, the last W is the where. Where do you go to get life insurance? For those of you that go online, just try to fill out a little survey and get somebody to call you about life insurance, you can do that, but just kind of keep in mind, you're probably going to get like 100 calls over the next week or 2 weeks or whatever. As I mentioned before, I am a life insurance broker. You can reach out to me, or we've had some fathers on our channel who are also life insurance brokers who own agencies as well. Mr. ETE Mendez and Keith Lafayette, and I think there's one or two others. Feel free to reach out to them. Honestly, in my opinion, I'd love to work with anybody who's interested in getting life insurance and protecting their family. But you know, if for whatever reason, I'm not the one that you want to work with, feel free to reach out to those other guys. Or if you want me to give you a referral to somebody else, I can do the same thing. So, because at the end of the day, this isn't a marketing video. This is more educational for my fathers who don't know much about life insurance. So this has been our solo segment for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good information out of it. If you know somebody, especially a young father, guys, I can't stress this enough. If you know a young father who does not have life insurance or doesn't even know if they have life insurance or how much life insurance they have or how their life insurance policy works, please share this video with them, or just tell them to reach out to me or give me their contact information, and I'd be happy to just give them the information that they need so that they have it, and then they can choose what to do with it from there. I enjoy what we do here. I enjoy y'all's presence. To all my fathers out there that are doing your very best to provide a positive presence of fatherhood to your children, we say thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and please keep doing what you're doing. Your presence is about more than just your presence. So feel free to share this video. And as always, thank you for being here.